Bow, zip-a-da-ba-ba, do-ba-ba, zip-a-da-bow. Zip-a-da-bow. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Karandrin Roleplaying. It's episode 70 of Brise's Tale, as you can tell by regalia. This is episode 70 of Brise's Tale. It's exciting.
Yes.
My name is Kevin the Main Spinning, also known as Cracked Palantir. I am your game master and host for the night. But playing Brise is my good buddy, Max. Say hello to the lovely people, Max.
Hello, everybody. Happy 70th Karandrin, the Thanksgiving episode of Karandrin.
That's right.
We all have a lot to give thanks for.
We do, and hopefully, we can get you out of a situation.
Yeah.
So
If I get out of this situation.
we have a very interesting situation going on. If you've watched Karandrin enough, you know that a lot of powerful places have defenses against teleport because teleport is simply extraordinarily dangerous. And as this is a very organic world and things respond to other things, it made sense to me that teleport would have to have limitations evolve against it. And one of those has caught Brise in a rather dangerous trap because Brise inadvertently teleported too close. She didn't stay focused enough as she teleported, and so instead of teleporting to a more distant location she was confident was safe, her mind flashed to an earlier location just as she cast the spell, and now she finds herself trapped in a swirling sphere of dark gas suspended some 30 feet above the trees on a mountain slope in the Goblin Mountains. And it's not a good picture because you're also bleeding.
Mm-mm.
And your magic armor that heals bleeding did not work.
Healing potion did not work.
Healing potion did not work. And basically you have to keep it clamped. So what would you like to do?
All right. Well, thought of a couple things that are some possibilities here. Before the episode, I asked if there are any bail bondsmen around, but
That's
no,
right.
no one's going to let me out of this prison except myself. So I first try the words because it's worked before. What was the saying? Blood for the throne. I just say that out loud and see if that affects anything around me.
It does not.
Okay, that's all right. I pull out Nalkarth and ask him, "Do you know what this is? Have you ever been in a situation like this, or know what this force field might be?" And I guess I can hopefully keep my hand on the wound while I pull him out, off my back, my off hand.
Make a roll.
Okay. 2.
Lose 2 hit points. You let your hand slip a little bit. The
Brilliant.
Nalkarth makes no response. Roll for me. Nalkarth, for any new watcher, is an intelligent bow, apparently from another world. And the owner can communicate with it telepathically. What'd you roll?
90.
Not only does he not respond, the bow definitely feels different. You definitely feel like you've lost your connection. Roll for me again.
Oh, Jesus. Dragon here on my desk getting in the way.
That's how they are in Karandrin too. They just get in the way.
That's a 53.
So you're pretty smart. So so it occurs to you that this cage seems to disrupt any sort of mental connection. You can't communicate with
Yeah.
Nilani.
Right.
Roll again for me.
93.
And if Nalkarth is any indication, items that have an intelligence or personality locked within them are usually pretty powerful.
Right.
And of course, that's one of the first things this cage wants to deny you is access to your most powerful assets.
Oh, it's worth trying to see if still. So here's my second thing. If I can't talk with Nalkarth, it does have, his shadow arrows are supposed to ignore the magical defense of shields and other armor.
Yes.
Like, it's worth trying to shoot one of these arrows right at this prison and see what it does. I'll see if I can even draw it. Can I feel like if I try to use him arrow form?
It does sort of shadowy bolt does form.
Yeah.
And really strangely, it's darker. I mean, you just feel stronger than usual, but also whiffs of the vapor begin to approach the arrow. There seems to be some sort of very strange interaction between the two magics.
Yeah. So I'll let loose the arrow, angle it away from me. Hopefully it doesn't bounce off.
There is no angling. Well, okay. The only
How big is this again? What is it like?
I mean, yeah, it's not quite your height.
Well, I've shot myself in the foot with an all-card before, so I'll stand the feeling. I just let it go, the arrow go, see if it pierces the prison.
It does not. It seems that it's now its own separate entity. The arrow is now its own sort of that shadow bolt.
Yeah.
It's now its own separate entity whirling around the morass of the sphere.
Weird. Okay.
That's one of the things I insisted upon in one of my, I don't know, creative aesthetics was that magic should be messy. Like not everything should be explained because, and so this is certainly one of those instances where,
I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Right. And even the creator of this trap would not know why, in all likelihood.
Yeah. They like discover this magic, but they don't realize all of its properties.
Right.
Us and the human brain.
Right.
Well, okay. Let's just try to pull the arrow back and see what the tendrils do then as they approach it. Maybe they interact with it in a useful way.
Oh my God, we got chats already. Oh my Lord. Here, enjoy those.
Take that.
Quinn says, God, dude, quit playing with your food. Just kill him and get it over with. It is episode 70. It may be time.
Been long enough.
How many years have you played the character now? Is it around 3?
Yeah, about 3 years.
Yeah. So
Maybe.
it's been a lot of playing.
Too long.
That's right. I'm sorry. What did you want to do? I'm sorry.
I want to draw the arrow back and wait for the tendrils to interact with it. See if I can at least that. I guess probably lose another 2 hit points.
That's true. Right. You'd have to. Yeah. You draw back. Tendrils reach. It's very.
You just hold it. Yeah.
It's just very tenuous. They're about to touch. Is it your intention to let them touch?
Yeah, to see what happens. What kind of explosion I can create.
Weird. Well, this is all sandbox, as our old viewers will attest. I didn't know what was going to happen. I rolled some possibilities. Well, it touches the arrow. Others begin reaching out. They touch points on the bow. There's a tingling sensation in your hand and moving up your arm. Lose another 2 hit points from the bleeding, not from, your hands aren't burning. The arrow that was circling within, in the boundaries of the cage returns to the bow.
Learning a lot here. There'll be a quiz on this at the end of the
I know that's right. In your Eldritch Theory class, please, and as the British say, show your workings. Show your workings. Those vapors that are spinning within the sphere get faster and faster. The tingling is spread to your arm. Lose 2 hit points.
I wonder if it's just like draining magic, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
The bow becomes excruciatingly hot. You impulse. Well, I'll give you a shot to hang on to it if you want to hang on to it.
Let's hang on. 31.
Oh, too painful. Lose 4 hit points. 2 from burn to your hand. 2 from the bleed. You let go. And then you fall through the floor of the sphere. Let's see how this is going to go.
Yeah, how high up was I? Above the trees, right?
Above the trees.
Oh, jeez.
Sure, that's not going to be a problem.
Mm.
I mean, I've looked in.
I'm totally expecting it too. I just land on my feet.
Right. Meow. You're like a cat. You're a kitty. Meow. That's all I'm going to do for the rest of the stream is meow.
Better than scatting.
Scatting. You don't know how to do this. They give you this great fall table, and I really like it, but falling through a tree is different than falling otherwise.
I think I should take no damage for falling through a tree.
Yeah, I think just death. Yeah.
Infinity damage.
Yeah. So, 31 and a D crush critical.
Ooh.
D
Crush is my favorite energy drink.
That's hilarious.
Want me to roll that or?
No, I got it.
Okay. Ooh.
Oh my God. Why don't you roll orientation? Why don't you roll for me?
11.
Okay, you've really no concept of what's going on. Take an additional 10 hit points. Oh, geez, this is another. Take another 35 hit points.
What's going on? Okay, it's I'm down to half HP, 96 out of 185, or almost half.
Another 10 hit points.
Okay.
Roll orientation.
79.
Better, but not enough. Lose another 6 hit points. Make another roll.
10.
Lose another 2 hit points.
It's getting better. Okay. I'll just say now, I'm assuming during all this time my patching vest doesn't activate and try to heal any of these.
It does not. So, you realize that you're standing, and you piece together that, yeah, you got up from over there where that trail of blood starts, and you're kind of piecing together. You fell through a tree, and the tree that you were directly above, you took a serious blow to the calf. You're at -10 for all actions. You then took a very serious blow on your back, and that must be where you landed. But the tree at least kept you from taking an overwhelming.
Yeah.
This is bad. This is what, 80 something hit points. I mean,
yeah.
It's easily the largest single blow. Well, I guess it is 2 blows, but man, weirdly, your criticals were both very moderate, and within 4 points of each other. Yeah, you're in bad shape. Your back hurts. Your left leg hurts.
Everything hurts. I might just. How do I feel when I walk? If I take a step, I feel pretty bad.
It's sore. You're obviously moving slower than you would normally. You're moving about half rate. It would take terror to get you to move faster than that.
And am I bleeding at all from anything, or do I feel like
the wound on your side is still bleeding?
Okay.
You clamp it. You look up. Now Karth is no longer visible, but there are now fragments in not what is a sphere, but what is some sort of shadowy, smoky whirlwind. Cone-shaped dust devil.
Wow.
And that's where it is.
And Nalani, she returned to my side, my trusty Falcon familiar.
You don't see her, but you can now feel her. That connection has been restored.
Okay.
You keep the wound clamped. You take several minutes and check your gear. Crazily enough, you do not lose anything. Another just
pretty good at that, yeah. Except Nalkarth. Make sure I note that down.
Yeah. I've actually got to erase it from the magic items inventory and magic items database because it's destroyed now. I mean, it's just gone.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, that sucks. That guy was like pretty feel kind of bad. Not only a personality, but a very powerful artifact, almost.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice bow.
I guess I can tell that guy who's making me a bow case to stop.
Well, you paid him.
Might come across another one, yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to. Since you've paid him, you don't have to pick it up. You can just leave it, and he'll just sell it on to the next person.
Yeah, theoretically. All right. Let's try to find a good place, maybe settle down in some brush and have rest for a bit. I'll definitely use a healing potion. I'll pull that
And
on my wound there.
the bleeding wound.
Yeah. Use major healing. I don't want to mess around with this.
Say again.
Major healing.
Is what you're going to do.
Mm.
You might drink it. Then it's pretty powerful. It could probably fix most of what's wrong with you.
And I'll drink it. Yeah.
Bleed seals. You just feel that warmth in that area, and then you gain your 60. Is that right? 60 hit points.
Yep.
Calf is healed. Back is not great, but it's okay. You feel like you're capable of running without hurting your back too much. Should the need arise.
Healed. And oh man, still down quite a lot of HP. What herbs do I got? I'll take a cherok herb. Just pull that out of my herbs pouch and munch on that. That's 4 to 40 HP.
32.
Okay. That puts me back at 60. I'm 160 out of 185. Okay. Feeling better. But I think I'll rest here for a bit.
No kidding.
And,
it is very level here. Just a surprising ledge. Like I was like, oh God, I forgot that he's on a mountain. He could roll down a slope. And I was like, tell me about the slope here. It was like a 14. I'm like, oh, so it's, irregular ground, but so it's sort of this lip of the mountain. You're several hundred feet away from the complex of the Four Wells, which is, for any new listener, that's the area we're exploring right now. 4-tower complex, one of which was habitable. And the other 3 apparently contain, as best we can tell, blood. So yeah, how long do you want to, what time of day is it?
It's morning. I just teleported here.
Yeah.
I didn't spend that long in the prison, right? Probably just a few 10, 20 minutes or something.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'll rest for, an hour.
That will gain you 2 hit points.
Okay. Getting exhaustion back also, I forget.
Yes.
5 out of 100.
What you're at what? How many are you?
Out of 100 exhaustion.
Sorry, you got muted. There's a blip. How many hit points? How many?
85.
So you gained half rounded up. So you're at 93.
All right. Well, lost a good bow, but
yeah, better than bleeding to death up there.
Yeah. Right. So I need to remember. It's funny. It was just last week, but it feels like a while ago because I traveled a little. I believe I was going to come. We can finish investigating the tower and also to investigate the hillsides for where the blood might drain to.
Right, because you couldn't
or even try to unplug one of them.
Right.
If that's a plug, that might send the blood somewhere.
Right.
Listen to that.
All right. So what's your first goal, and how do you want to proceed, and what do you want in your hands?
Let's do checking out the blood first. I'm going to grab my my flail and just have that kind of walking around with that and scoping out the mountainside around the towers, the 3 of them, right, to find any exposed pipes.
Right.
Or,
Presumably down slope, right?
yes,
Downhill from it.
yeah.
Looking for sort of any sort of plumbing and that sort of thing.
Mhm. You know, having Alani kind of flying overhead, scanning as well, see if she sees anything unusual. You know, it's really funny. I forgot when the wind was like throwing me around. I don't think I had my bearings anyway, but my cloak of billowing might have been able to. I don't know if that would have made it worse or better, you know.
Well, that's a great use for that thing is to, yeah. I mean, yeah, because you could have attempted a controlled glide at that point. By the same token, when you fell,
Right.
you could have used it as a attempted to use it as a parachute to break your fall. So the going is very rough. It's very slow, but it's still passable terrain. You can make it over and so on. But it's about, and I should do this more often because for physical exertion I just generally just ignore exhaustion, but I shouldn't. That's why one is tired at the end of the day, after all. So for about 20 exhaustion, you've gone in one direction. You know, with Milani's help, she gets you out a couple of tight jams where you couldn't find a way around.
Exhaustion, okay.
And so the side nearest the downhill portion nearest the on the side of the reservoir towers, you find no evidence of piping or man-made structures. So cutting back across is 10 exhaustion.
Oh man. Well, man, I might not have done this if I realized it was going to cost me all.
But you know, what do? You just rest.
I mean, I understand I'll rest, yeah, but that kind of changes the game for sure.
It does change the game, and this is one of the things too that we'll do is, you know, eating will restore you back to full. You know, when you eat and rest, you know, it's easier going on the other side. And so you lose only 10 exhaustion, and you do indeed see a glint of metal, silvery. You're now beyond. You've crossed the trail that you had sort of made your way down. That was your former teleport spot. I guess it's presently your teleport spot. It's down the slope quite a ways. You wish to send Nalani?
Yeah.
Nalani reaches the location, circles above it. It's a silver chain, very round links. I mean, purely circular links, about the size of a coaster, about the size of a roller coaster. They're huge.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, the chain runs down into the brush. She can't see very much more without landing. What would you like her to do?
Have her land and see if she can follow it a little further. Hopping along or gliding low.
She lands on the rock that it's draped on. It falls into, just detritus and leaves and so on. She kind of plucks at it. It's surprisingly light. She finds, like she can just move it, no problem. What would you like to do?
Okay, I'm going to go try to meet up with her, and then I can investigate it a little more thoroughly.
Going here is more difficult. You stop at one point, decide to try to use the trail, but the trail seems to be taking you further away. So you stop and resume the difficult downward climb. Since this is actual difficult stuff, there's actually a chance of falling. Are there precautions you want to take? Are there, and then I'm going to have you roll.
Nah, I think I'm fine. I'm down. I'm going to accept. I have gloves. Nah, because I'm not gonna. I'll be fine. Let me just try.
Don't you have a potion?
I have a potion of Climber's Draft, which I've already used.
So you don't have a potion of Climber's Draft.
I have a couple drops left.
That's right. Just rub it on your gums.
Yeah.
All right. So, let me flip your character sheet over.
It's a 98. What'd I tell you?
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. Worried about you.
Nothing to fear.
Roll again and add it.
Okay. Plus 32.
Nice. 2 more rolls and you'll be there.
60.
Okay.
And 8.
Roll to catch yourself.
60.
You start sliding down a slope that's relatively steep. You stop your descent. 1 more roll and you're there.
9.
Roll to catch yourself.
It's a 98.
Oh my gosh.
What is going on with these dice?
So you just do a controlled slide right down to the location. You're like, no problem.
Oh my gosh.
So lose 5 exhaustion.
Okay.
And all right. You're looking, you're sort of beside where Nalani is with in this, brush and rock and so on. You slid down a bare patch, and where you slid, you revealed the seam of a door.
Oh my gosh.
Roll for me.
82.
Oh, there you are. So, definitely a door, no visible handle, but the chain is only 8 feet away, 10 feet away. You're on about a 40 degree angle. You're, But it's fairly rocky though, and you've got handholds. It's just, if you slip and you start tumbling badly, it's going to be a tree that stops you, and that's not going to be any fun. What do you want to do?
Let's investigate this door then. So if I just try to brush off, I can find the full door frame, see where the hinges are.
So as you turn to it, you see the dust and soil begin filling up the seam. And you brush it away, and it begins filling back up again.
What in the world? That's so cool. All I need to do is just kind of like, find where maybe like a handle or something is. I'll just keep doing it till I find something.
Outline of the door is very broad. It's bigger than home door. It's a larger door like you would find in a wealthy estate. So it's probably not quite 6 feet across, almost 8 feet high. No visible handles, no visible hinges.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to do?
So, handle or hinges? Do I just know that it's a door because there's that little boundary, right? It seems like there should be.
Right. I mean, could it be? I mean,
just a plank of wood.
I mean, no, it's stone. It is.
Oh,
stone.
Okay.
It is the stone face of the mountain.
Yeah.
That's how you know it's got to be something, right? I mean, a hatch. It's got to be something.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And clearly, it's hidden. Clearly, it's self-hiding.
Yeah.
Clearly, it's magical.
Right.
And that certainly says it's connected to the complex.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna go through there. If it's thin enough, I wonder if I can break it with like another rock or something. I mean, I guess how would someone open this door anyway, right? If there's no handle, like push on it, if I push.
There is the nearby chain.
Oh, right. I forgot about the chain. We'll investigate the chain.
I don't know how many Karandrin points you just lost. I will leave it to the chat. How many Karandrin points?
Probably as many hit points as I just lost.
That's right.
Fall. I'll climb down carefully to the chain and we'll take a look at that.
It's actually to the side, so you just kind of scurry to the side. Why don't you roll for me?
Yeah.
Make it over there cautiously.
Welcome, Diggs, by the way, 7.
Hey, Diggs. I'm sorry, what'd you roll?
40.
So slow going, but you make it over there. And get your hand on the chain. Actually, I won't have you do that unless, if you want to be more cautious.
Obi-Wan thinks I should lose a generous 1 million Karandrin.
That's right.
I'll be in Karandrin debt.
You will be.
I'll need to take out a loan.
Karandrin debt.
So I slide down the chain.
So you slide over to the chain.
Right over.
It's toward the 4 wells side of this stone door you've discovered. There's brush to clear away. If you want to get a full look at the chain, do you want to grab the chain? What do you want to do?
Let's clear it away. See if I can see as much.
So you clear stuff away. One of the very first things you notice is that the chain actually has there's a hook for it to hang on, just down from where Nalani perched. She really didn't pay attention to it because to her it's just sort of a branch or a twig or a whatever. So this has been slipped off the chain. The Karandrin loan shark is a land loan shark. And so it goes down as you just, I mean, you really have to just, shovel stuff out of the way, right? And it goes down into a very neat little slot into the rock. You're about 6 feet from the door. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna tug on it. See if I can pull it up.
You pull up. There is a neat, very clean sounding click, and the stone door opens up facing you.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the opening faces you, so I guess it opens away from you.
Right. Nice.
Lights flicker on inside. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna. I guess I'm in full view of the door, right? Might be hide behind some brush real quick and see.
You're 6 feet to the side of the door.
Right, but you said it opened like so.
So if you are, I don't know how to do this on camera accurately. So if the back of my hand is the outer facing of the door, let me see what this is going to do. So that's not going to work. So I can't do that either. So I used the wrong hand. So I don't know how to do this.
According to quantum theory, you are.
There you go. So if you are here, it opens like this. Do you see?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it opens like that. So the doorway obviously just faces out of the mountain, and you're 6 feet to the side of that.
Right. Okay. So I'm just gonna stand still and like wait. Be with my flail, pull that out, make sure nothing.
Right. Roll for me.
23.
Yeah, there's no real sound. The wind sounds have changed as now there's a chamber for the wind to fill. But a shudder racks your body, and you know that there's something evil in the mouth of that door.
Before I go in there, I'm feeling a little tired from all that climbing. I might rest another hour and have some lunch.
Right by the door, huh?
No, I mean, we'll move away a bit. I definitely still want to be near to like see it, but I'm thinking if I go in there, it's nasty. It's.
Do you want to send Nalani past?
Oh, good idea. Yeah, let's just have her see what she can see inside.
So she just goes past very quickly, makes one more pass, and comes back to you. As you concentrate through her eyes, there is a well-lit chamber carved into the mountain. It's a passageway that goes straight in. And then there appeared to be stairs that went up and to the right, which of course makes sense to you because that would be approaching The tower is known as the Four Wells.
Right. Okay. Yeah, so I'll climb up the mountain a little ways away from the doorway, and we're gonna rest for a little bit. I kind of want to keep it in my view, but be far enough away. Feel safer.
Yeah, you probably would set out a bola, right? Just to
Yeah,
get ready
exactly.
to throw things and so what are you down to in terms of exhaustion?
58 out of 100.
58.
You don't have a. Is it? Am I hungry for lunchtime, or I guess it's probably still just late
It's still
morning.
mid-morning.
Yeah. So we'll just
Um,
rest for another hour.
yeah, so 92 is your new max, 48, 34, 17. I don't know. Is that right? $34. No, so you'd go, yeah, you would go halfway up.
Right. So plus 17
Right. So
makes
75.
75. Yeah. Any HP or
2.
yeah. Let me see here. Looking at my spells for kind of protecting me against any devious things. I thought I had one. Where is it? Oh gosh. Detect curse. And what was the? Wasn't there one that protects against curse? Do I not have? Oh, I don't have that tome anymore. Oh, I had a tome that had protection from curse, but I don't think I have it anymore.
This is what you get for selling on eBay.
I believe I traded it for the keep for another one. Silly, silly, silly. Okay. Well, what I will do is we'll um, pull out my. Actually, no. I think does this one I have memorized? I can't remember here. Got Way of the Spirit memorized. I've got Fate's Obstacles and Fate's Path.
Yes.
Right. I don't have. Okay, so I have to pull out Eyes of the Spirit is a tome I have in my bag here, and I'm gonna pull that out. Well, I'm gonna go back to the doorway and cast Detect Curse on the doorway. Check if there's any thing lingering in there, or is it just a bad sense that I get about it?
All right. Roll to cast from the spell book.
Eyes of the Spirit. That's a 3. Okay.
Well, that's going to
Casting on a steep mountainside. This has been a rough session so far, I gotta say.
You can cast from where you're sitting because you can still see the door.
Okay.
Yeah, that's going to be it's going to be some damage there, buddy.
Oh joy.
Um,
At least it's a level 1 spell.
yes. The tome slams shut. And begins glowing brighter and brighter and brighter. Clearly, you have made a mistake. No damage to you, but soon this thing will functionally outshine the sun. That is, despite the daylight, you will signal your presence on the mountain.
Yes. Yeah. Throw that into the corridor. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't want to damage this thing, but I might. Hey, I'll just put it back in my bookcase of holding.
I don't think you want to do that.
That's a good idea.
I mean, just bury it. Honestly, just
Okay.
shove leaves on top of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, forgetting
Store it.
it. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh, where is it?
Right. Well, how about this? I'll just put a spare shirt on top of it. Got
Okay.
some stuff. Put a shirt on top of it.
All right. Set a couple of rocks so it didn't blow off.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is
so
that?
much for detect curse.
Is it?
Uh,
I'll wait like a couple minutes. Like, does it keep it brighter? Does it stabilize?
you keep peeking. Um, um, I mean, it's painful to look at. It's so bright.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
As you're waiting for it, you keep checking on it. The door silently closes.
Oh man.
Which, when you think about it, doesn't surprise you.
Yeah. What if
Right.
something actually tugs on the chain? And then,
Right. If anybody careless and whatever, right, it has to remain concealed. So, um,
all right. Well, I'm just gonna go in there, go back down to the chain, yank on it.
neat click. It opens silently. What do you want in your hands?
I'm gonna have my flail in my hands, and we'll step inside the hallway.
You step inside. Roll for me.
40.
And again.
64.
That same feel of unease. There is a little alcove immediately as you enter, and there's a lever connected to a silver chain. The passageway is taller than the door. Looking up into the passageway, you can see moss and stuff hanging down, roots. The walls are, the floor is stone from the mountain. The walls are, seem to be packed soil and so on. They must have hit some soft layer of the mountain. Of course, maybe that's why the area was chosen for, to build this. It's occurred to me that you look historically, what happens is for ruins is they get repurposed over and over again, like in our world, right? Either they get torn down, the materials are used, or they're just re-inhabited and modified by the new inhabitants and so on. And it occurs to me that probably happens too with layers of people who just want to be left alone, right? I mean, you could build, but you'd have to hire builders who would then know where your structure is.
Right.
You know,
spot that's been forgotten.
Right. And then, you use your arts. Maybe you bring in one artisan to help you shore up areas and things like that. Oh, yeah, you might have to kill 3 people as opposed to 30.
Yeah.
Right? Laboring away at this thing. That's interesting. So
it's a cool thought that also in Karandrin, ruins always tend to be inhabited or visited. It's I like that.
Yeah, I
Feel
mean,
more like it should be.
right, yeah, it's shelter, and it's
At least the
better.
animals, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just naturally go to it because everyone needs shelter. My father-in-law and I, we like to watch these some of the survivor shows like Alone and so on, which I really recommend because you learn a lot. You just learn a ton. And so it's something like, I forget what it is, standing in the wind for an hour, you lose like a pint of liquid every hour.
Wow.
I mean, really exposure, I mean, can just kill you.
Yeah.
Um, so there are not torches, but actual lamps set on sconces, even spaces along the wall. The wall, the walls of packed earth do have timbers spaced evenly, and that's where the lamps are mounted. Um, if they're not magical lamps, then it's at least magically ignited. Um, and do you want to proceed deeper in?
Mm-hmm. And flail just in hand, kind of trying to keep it quiet.
Yeah. So you've clutched the chains to the handle.
Moving sneakily along.
All right, roll the sneak.
Lonnie also on my shoulder,
Mm-hmm.
65.
So not hard to move quietly in an empty hallway of stone. Um, roll for me.
53.
Nalani, there's no other word for it, screams. And you feel her panic. And she is looking behind you. And you turn, and there are bones, ribs, arms coming from all sides of the walls and ceiling.
Oh my gosh.
You are inside some undead creature.
Oh.
2 skulls, both goblin, if you had to guess, rotate down from the ceiling and glow like eyes looking at you. Like it's almost like you're in a worm, and the worm's eyes can rotate down inside of its own mouth and look down its own length.
Yeah.
The floor becomes an oozy muck. You have to watch where you step as sharp ribs and fangs come forth, and this whole thing begins to lower down on you. Turning to the front, it has sealed. It is about 20 feet long, and
Jesus.
you are inside the stomach or mouth of an undead amalgamation of bone and flesh. And the reek is now overpowering. And when we come back from break, it's going to try to chew you.
Oh, we're gonna have some mastication on our hands.
I knew this stream would eventually devolve into just a gross exercise in mastication.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, let's fill our water. Oops, that's the wrong.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'm ready to end this stream.
exactly. So we're gonna run, stretch our legs, and refill our drinks. We hope you do the same and just hang with us for a few minutes, and we'll be right back, and we'll see. If we're done chewing the fat with Max. So give us just a minute. Thanks for hanging with us. All right, gang. Let us get it back to the beatings.
Real quick on the topic of mastication. I was doing a crossword puzzle, and it was word for chewing. It was like really a lot of letters. I'm like mastication that fits. Oh, I'm so smart. It wasn't. Apparently, mandication also means to like chew.
Oh, mandible.
Yeah, and I'm like, come on, how many words are there for
Right.
the same thing? But anyway, had to
That's
get that out.
that's funny. It's important to get frustrations out. It is. Oh,
Okay. So find myself in the mouth of this beast closing in. Do I have enough clarity to see if I can remember hearing about a creature like this? Anything I know about a creature like this?
I mean, you can roll.
Just for the hang of it. 97.
Roll again and add it.
Okay. 13.
So the whole the whole concept of a what am I trying to say? The whole concept of a amalgamation of undead is repeated throughout myth and legend.
Right.
Horrible things. There's one among miners that is believed to be the spirits of those who died of miners who died in a collapse.
Yeah.
And they're so it's multiple. It's a whirling amalgamation of rock and bone and skulls and things like this. Said to be capable of destroying whole villages. I mean, it's just a tornado of. It's a bone-nado. And,
the prequel to Sharknado.
Exactly. There's at least another one, at least one other that you've heard of where, I mean, there's dozens you've heard of, but their exact descriptions and so on. The two most careful you have is that of the Dwarven miners, bone-nado, and there's another one that is a mass amalgamation of skulls that form a giant skull.
Oh my gosh.
Which Karen and Andrew, long ago playing Rollmaster, they were one room away from encountering that thing, but they decided to go in a different direction and they never met it.
Well, good for them. I obviously took the wrong.
Well, what are you going to do, right? This is,
Okay. Well, there's a couple different things I could try. I'm looking through my thing. Holy magic is always the best offense and defense against it.
Well, also keep in mind your flail is soon going to be useless
because I can't swing it around in a small
area. Right. You've got about one shot, but what's perfect against a mouth?
That's true. And a bunch of bone. Good idea. So never mind casting a spell. My first reaction is to take out the flail in my hand and just try to swing it at.
No, I would say forget it and grab your spear.
Okay. I thought you were implying the flail is perfect.
No, the flail, you get about one shot.
Right.
But let it bite down on the flail. I mean, sorry, on the spear.
Spear, yeah. Definitely cause it to hurt. Okay.
And
so yeah, I'll just drop the flail, pull out my spear, and as it's closing in,
and you might
use momentum to.
Right, and you might need to do. Well, let's do an orientation roll because this is really terrifying.
It's a 5. Nope.
Oh my lord! So, you may not have time to do that, but that doesn't mean it's not coming. Yeah, I mean, you're just terrified. I mean, this is certainly one of the
That's
most
fair.
awful things that you've ever seen. Um,
Although Brise doesn't like uncleanliness. Definitely doesn't help that among a bunch of dead bodies.
right. Oh man. Um,
That's it's a really funny like analogy too. Like as it eats people, it adds them to its body, and then it just gets more hungry.
that's right.
Damn it!
It doesn't say brains. It says bods. Bods. Just all of it.
Odds.
Um, well, this is an interesting thing because you can't really dodge. So it's just the toughness of your armor that's going to save you. Um, man, what a weird thing to face. Um, where is your spear?
It'd be on my back, pointed upward, so I could like pull it off.
It's probably not pointed upward.
Pointed down, what do you think?
I would think that it would. You would have to. I don't know. I don't know how you would. Yeah, it's fine. Point it up. It doesn't really matter because
Right. I think I pull it out with my left hand. Well, I guess then it would be downward. Yeah, if I did that. So.
But it doesn't really matter. Enough force, it's gonna, it's gonna
Either
puncture.
side.
Right. So, well, that's an unfortunate roll. Wow, that is, well, that's off the chart. Well, it's been a long time since you've had an E critical. Too
I
long.
just had a D critical. Oh my god.
I know. Too long, some might say. I think Quinn might say it's been too long.
Oh my gosh. This sucks.
This has been a dangerous day for you, definitely.
Mm-hmm. I'm starting to think I might be, as they say in the business, under-leveled for this version.
Wow, that was.
What was the name of the Dungar, right? As if running into that, I'm like, oh, I can handle this. And
but what's interesting is, right, this is every attack it does on you, it gets an attack.
Right.
And so that's going to be very interesting.
Oh, very.
If I had rolled one less, you would have taken the infamous 66 critical.
Oh my gosh.
That was really scary.
Whew.
Well,
indeed.
The teeth within this mouth, you move out of its way as much as you can, ducking down and so on, but trying to keep the spear up in your terror. You left your shield shoulder higher, your off shoulder higher, and you just hear the sickening sound of bone breaking.
Oh.
And you just scream as these rib teeth dig into the shoulder. They hit you other places as well, both top and bottom, but that's the most serious wound combined. You take 35 damage.
Oof.
Your offhand is useless. That whole arm is useless. You're bleeding 2 points around. You don't know from which of the injuries. It receives a delicious bite of your spear. Your spear, anything special about the spear?
That's a good question.
Plus 10 wound is what I have written down here, but maybe out of date.
No, that one's in my bag of holding. Plus 10 craft. The spear of the 7 swings. Its enchantments have been removed.
Oh, I see the bonuses.
Yeah, yeah. But it still has +10 craft. So
Okay.
Whew.
You want to roll your critical?
Sure. Why not? Yeah, 74.
Oh, nice.
Lord.
So
It's a spear of striking your opponent with the same critical you just took.
it rolled a 67. A 66 is the deadly critical. Well,
Right.
as well as the high 90s.
Right.
A 66 is the deadly critical in Rollmaster Second Edition. So you feel it coming down. It enters, it crushes your shoulder. Other teeth sink into various places on your leg and back. And then you feel it shudder and recoil. And now we roll orientation and we roll initiative.
Okay. Son of a bitch. Swearing. It's a 55 for orientation.
All right. It makes a few tentative movements towards you. You can see that it stabbed itself through the floor
Okay.
as it was lifting you up and crushing you.
Yeah.
Roll your orientation. Roll to get your bearings.
92.
All right. You can act this turn. It seems very confused. What do you want to do?
I mean, I could try to escape this thing if there's an opening, but I'm honestly might be in the best place to try to kill it, inside here.
Here's one thing it won't be able to do: dodge.
Right, exactly. Nor can I. But you know what? I think Brise is sturdy. She is gonna, try to ignore the pain in her shoulder and take off her spear, and then basically attack it, on the inside here.
All right. There's not. I guess if you attack up and down, then you know that essentially you have a parry inbuilt. You have to keep your spear either up or down.
I see. Yeah, because then it'll recoil. Yeah.
So
I feel like down, I had more force. I could do that
sure.
instead of pushing it up. So honestly, I'll just milk the or churn the butter here. And
so I don't guess you're saving anything for parry or anything.
Yeah, full out attack on this guy.
All right. Roll it up.
Okay. That's a 40.
And because, it doesn't really have dodge, it has some inherent toughness. Why don't you roll your enormous critical against it?
Hell yeah. 36.
Well, not a great shot. It recoils. It does sort of, that area you stab sort of retreats away from you, like it sinks down below the ground. And so you're standing in the clear. Next round.
Can I tell Milani to try to, can she escape, like instruct her, try to get out of here?
There's no real way to do it.
Time, yeah.
There's no escape available. There's no route available.
This thing is completely closed in.
Yeah, both ends are closed, and of course,
she'll just try to keep herself safe.
You could have her try to rip out teeth above you or below you.
Okay. Yeah, she can stay safe and try to hurt it in that way. Safer for me.
Boy, she rips one right out.
Nice.
Next round, roll for initiative.
28.
All right. Your initiative.
All right. Doing the same, just stabbing down, hoping to at least scare it
There's
off.
nothing down there to stab unless you move along its length.
So it I'm like trying to visualize this, right? So it sunk into the ground and became
Yes.
ground. Okay. Then I'll move further deeper into it, and stab where I can see there.
All right. Roll it up.
Flesh and bones. 89. There we go.
Yep. That's off the chart. That is 2 criticals. Roll it.
First is 32.
All right.
The next one is 36 again.
Wow.
Very modest criticals, I would say. I guess I've lost 4 more hit points from the
Yes.
It hasn't attacked me though. So
Let's see. Milani is making headway. She's working on a second one, just tearing at it like it's a rabbit. I mean, she's hung upside down on the ceiling, right? And she is just tearing at it with beak and claw.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Slay.
All right. Next round, lose 2 hit points. And let's roll initiative.
68.
Boy, you blew it away. What do you want to do?
This is working. I'm gonna now. I mean, I imagine more of it receded, right? So, do I maybe attack the ceiling now? There.
Roll it up.
Force this thing back. 98.
Roll again and add it.
Plus 65.
Whoa, that's a lot of math. 65 one. Good Lord. That is a lot.
A lot.
You almost doubled the chart.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm looking through my spells and stuff. This is working pretty well. So just brute force.
1, 2, 3, 4, 120. Whoa. That is 70 damage before even the criticals. You get 2 criticals, an E and a D. We always roll the highest first.
Holy smokes. Okay.
Roll it up.
Critical. Let's make it count. 44.
Man, you cannot get a great roll there. All right. And your D.
Big D is 50.
Man. Well, there you go. So, you just plunge up into the ceiling and it shudders and very unfortunately it collapses.
Sealed my own fate.
So, but since it collapses onto your spear, it largely tears and it flops down on your shoulder. I did like that, but you really couldn't do that. You'd really just have to be doing one arm. Right. The other arm is, it's just really bad.
And yeah.
You have to cut Nalani free, who was freaked out. She's only a couple of feet in, but you kind of pry open the tissue of this thing. And you realize there was no stone floor. This was a visual and tactical illusion.
Oh my gosh.
It's the body of this thing stretches halfway down the corridor, and then the stone floor resumes.
Oh my gosh.
It's about 30 feet long. Um, yeah, I mean, it would be under different circumstances. If you're feeling better, it would be great to shovel some wood in here and just burn this thing out.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I think I'm gonna get some fresh air now.
yeah, you give Nalani leave to leave.
Yeah.
She wants to get the hell away from here.
Step out outside
Yeah, you walk
carefully.
there gingerly. You realize you're kind of stuck on this ledge.
Yeah.
Unless you've got some really good herbs. I mean, that shoulder is not getting better.
Well, I do have a healing potion, so we'll go back to my little hiding area where
You
the tome is.
you
Plop down
can't
there.
I mean, you could try it climbing back up there with one arm.
I see that was further up. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just do the healing potion there. Just stand in the doorway, pour a healing potion on the bone there.
You gain your 30 hit points. There is
Okay.
less pain, but your arm will not move.
I also have. Wait, actually, let's flip that around. I actually have a potion of bone mending. 2 of those. We'll drink that one first, right? See if that kind of repairs that damage.
Roll for
And
me.
68.
And roll again for me.
34.
You drink it. You're at less of a penalty action because the pain again is reduced, but that arm will not move.
Oh no. Okay. Let me just write this down. 30 hit points, drink potions. Not move. Oh, this looks like the end of Brise's adventure. Paralyzed in one arm. It's my offhand. Okay, well, all I can do then is try to rest here.
You can kind of, slide your way with your back against the thing. I mean, it's risky, but you've got to get away from this stench. I mean,
yeah. Awful. Wait, I smell like it. No.
So there is. I mean, it would make sense for you to look around for just any place where you could really just lay down because I mean, this is where you are. I mean, unfortunately, you're going to be sleeping on the mountain tonight in all likelihood.
Yeah, probably.
And this slope, I mean, there's no way you can do it on this slope.
It's like sleeping in one of those beds and you just like sit up and go to sleep sitting up.
There is a terrific spot, an open-endedly great spot.
Whoa.
That is also exceedingly difficult to get to.
Also, before any of that, what about my injury? The 2 hit points around. I guess I could try to staunch
your
that.
healing. If you
healing potion would have.
Healing potion would have mended that. It basically mends 3 small injuries, and then your greater one does 3 larger injuries.
Well, actually, also, what about the patching?
The patching would
take care of that initially.
You're right. So you can actually add back 6 or 8.
Okay. Yeah, I think it was
8's fine.
Okay.
If we get it wrong, we'll get it wrong in your favor, I hope.
Yeah, I hope so too. Used up
Oh,
one.
you could try to teleport down to that spot.
I was thinking of doing teleport, although I'm a little scared about what if there's defenses set up even around this, like, you know, this tunnel here. Like, I
Oh
don't know
yeah,
how
yeah.
crafty this necromancer
You,
was.
yeah, you can't take more injury. I
Yeah.
mean, um,
Sick of it. I'm sick of getting hurt.
that's one of the drawbacks
I
of
know.
adventuring. I have to admit.
So there's a nicer spot you said that's further down, but it's difficult to get to.
Yeah. What about levitate?
Yeah, could try a levitate and just kind of float down there.
You only have one. You only have one arm to catch yourself with, and to maneuver with.
Yeah,
But you will be weightless,
right.
and
And
you
I'm plenty of stuff to grab. It's not like I'm up high on the tower.
right.
So yeah, we'll do kind of firmly, grab a branch or a trunk and then do cast levitate and then just try to push myself down slope.
So let's assume that you take all your time with this spell
Go for
very carefully.
it. Mhm.
And remember, you can do that with scrolls as well, by the way. Um,
Right.
so, um, all right, roll up your
94. There you go.
holy crap. That's fantastic. So you take only half the exhaustion. And you begin making your way down. You just need a couple of good rolls and you'll be there.
First good roll coming up. That's a 2.
Roll again and subtract.
Not happening. Oh, it's -7. Okay, not too bad. -5.
Um, gust
Those are
of
my
wind.
2 rolls, a 2 and a 7.
Gust of wind kind of pushes you. The stuff you're reaching for just tears off or it's too dry. You're just further away. No additional damage. Roll again.
53.
2 more.
89.
Lovely. 1 more. Just moderate roll.
70.
You are there. It is a very level spot. There's this thick grass that grows on this ledge. Like,
Right.
is you could, it's going to feel like a bedroll laying on this stuff, Um, so what now?
Now I try to sleep, I guess. So I mean, this arm. I mean, I'll rest, right, and then I just want to every few minutes try to feel my arm, try to move it, and
When
even
you
just like feel if I do
when you
that.
feel it, it is more pain than you've ever experienced.
Ooh,
And there are things moving in there that have never moved before.
okay.
You kind of take off your shirt and, peel it back, and it's got some piercings that have been sealed by the thing. And
Yeah,
you can see just where they went in, and they just went deep.
yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, yeah, I have another bone mending potion, but I honestly think this sounds like I need some medical attention.
this has been a rough day.
Yes. So what are my options then? I mean, if I need to, I eventually need to make it back to Balabry, I guess, would be the best option, back to the keep. So if I rest, should I just rest for, a little while, and then I guess might feel good enough? It's hard to know. How do I feel about getting up and going, trying to go back to the keep?
I mean, we can just roll it hour by hour.
Yeah, I almost think that's a good idea. And then just when I feel good enough to at least walk around, and I mean, I don't think this will feel any better, anytime soon.
No, I mean, I don't see that you're going to be able to climb anywhere with it.
Right.
You can't risk climbing anywhere with it. You can't risk falling. You can't risk tripping on a stone.
Right.
Because you would pass out from the pain.
Yeah. I mean, it might be time to just try a teleport back to the keep,
Sure. After you might as well rest, right?
Right. So rest for a little while, kind of recuperate, and then when I'm feeling good enough, hopefully I'm far enough away from any traps or anything that might be there, I'll try a teleport.
What's your exhaustion at right now?
Good question. 71.
So you wake up.
Okay. It was all just a bad dream.
That's it.
I'm still inside the prison.
That's it. It's noon now. Matt, you certainly feel better. Arm does not feel any better. You've gained 20 exhaustion. You go ahead and eat a meal.
Mm-hmm.
Your exhaustion is back to full. Hit points, you would have gained 5 hit points.
Okay.
Nalani is just out flying, having a good time. What do you want to do?
So I think, I don't really have a choice. I do have to call this adventure to a close for now and get some proper bed rest. So we're going to try to teleport back to the keep, to the spot further down the mountain where I can go from. Now, before I do that, though, I imagine I'm probably pretty smelly and dirty, so I guess I need to. How do I feel about maybe I should just go to an inn instead and try to wash up, or Brise is pretty particular.
You're in so much pain. You just
don't even care.
You're sort of. I mean, you're gutted that you had to make this decision, that you have to reappear in an embarrassing state.
Right.
If you have an additional cloak in your thing, you could literally put a cloak on top of a cloak, and I guess you'd probably take that other one off.
Take the cloak of billowing off, and just
ball it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ball it up such that the outside is.
Yeah.
And
before I do that, I'll just try to memorize this spot as well as possible. This little knoll, this little flat outcropping here.
Yeah.
So I can return. I'll have to leave that tome behind,
Yeah. Leave yourself a note.
Mm-hmm.
And as well as that additional shirt.
Yeah. That sure might come in handy someday.
Well, I mean, if you wish you had it now,
right?
You could change out of the stuff. Yeah. Of course, you can take off your armor, gingerly take off your armor because it's got more muck on it. Right. And then if you've got another cloak, then put that on. If not, reverse the billowing cloak.
Yeah, I'll just reverse that, wear that inside out.
and you just really hide all your shame. You pull your hair back. You're just you summon Nalani. Um, and now it is time for a teleport. You are at least rested.
Yep.
You are in pain, which is going to complicate matters, but you will take all your time. And but I will tell you, you don't feel the pain is a lot.
Can you imagine? I remember I broke my leg once.
Yeah.
Leg, yeah. It's like this must feel a lot worse than that. extra broken.
So, you feel that I'm just going to tell you, you feel that there is a good chance you're going to fumble, but you don't feel like you have a choice.
Is there? I mean, let me just double check my. Anything that would be able to help me out here?
I'll just put it to you this way: you need above a 20.
Kevin, I can't roll that. You know, you know how my teleports roll. I roll an average of like 16. Okay. Well,
You had some good attack rolls, though.
I did. That's true. Well, okay. We just got to try it. Yeah, I don't really have anything that could help me out. So, ready, steady, go. It's a 26.
Wow.
Well, there you go. Here's your 20.
Double exhaustion.
Oh my.
Now roll to aim. I don't know, what is the word? Roll to hold your location in mind.
Yep. That's easy. 85.
Nice. Boom. You're there. You see that there's a patrol on the road. And you're like, any help I can get.
Yes. I'll pay you any amount of money to take me back.
Now, this is interesting. If you do, you want their help. I'm going to tell you that. You want their help because you can't fall on this road. I mean, it's
right.
But it also means that word is going to reach certain parties, especially the captain of the
HR.
Yeah, but it's probably going to reach it anyway.
I was in in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right.
So I'm gonna hail these people.
Hands-on weapons, a little cautiously, right? They, you emerge before you from your spot before you hail them. They were ahead of you on the trails on the road leading up to the keep, and I should post. I haven't posted a single caption. I've been kind of
I forgot about that. Yeah.
So
that's why I've been rolling so bad.
I know the lack of. So this is Lady Miagraw's keep.
Mm-hmm. My kind of base of operations for the past month almost in game time. Right?
Yeah.
Got here like mid-April.
They look at each other and they approach cautiously. You say, I'm Brise, the guest of your Lady Miagraw, Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, yes. And they hurry down to you. I mean, they
good, yeah.
tell you're in distress and so on.
The password is Miagraw is awesome.
That's right.
Please help me.
So they
I like Obi-Wan Karen's caption. Brise, who is about to die, heads home to Miracross. Verge of death.
they, you know, they take you. They try to go under your shoulder, the broken one. You're like, no, I can't. They're like, you see their noses, with the reek of you, and you were just tears you up inside to be
Yeah.
thought of
I
that
want
way.
to be a stinky girl.
That's right. There's to ask, what befell you, and you just tell them something like, I had a fall, into some
I
muck.
did.
Yeah.
I fell from a great height.
Um,
I just wave them off,
one turns to the other and says, she's in too much pain for this. Fetch a wagon and fetch healers.
Okay.
And they go. The other guy runs off. The guard says, I'm sorry for your troubles. Should watch where you're going. Busting your chops like they do.
Yeah. Whatever.
So in a couple of hours, you find yourself in the healing ward. You ask that, I assume you ask that a note be sent to Fraldrum. I mean, not Frald, well, to Aldrif is my first thought, but I don't know. Is there people you want to contact?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't think so. I had told them I was leaving, right, and I've come back. I don't think I need to really mention to anyone that I've returned injured. Yeah.
So,
well, I guess yeah, no, because I didn't. Yeah, there wasn't anything that was supposed to be going on.
They examine your shoulder. They tell you that whatever did this, they're trying to get more answers out of you.
Right.
You realize they're going to see the incisions. You say, I was set upon by a great beast in the wild. Of
course, yeah.
They say, well, its mouth was enormous, and it crushed the bones in your shoulder.
Oh yeah.
It's going to take quite
hours, days,
a while to heal. Where is that little chart in here? Oh, well. Here we go. So they're going to have to, let's see if they can even, I don't know if they can set it or if they're going to have to use magic.
Now we have to get into like how much medical knowledge do you or I know? Like,
well, I mean, I'm fine to hand wave that kind of stuff, but there is a handy chart over here.
Oh, sure, okay. What would they know? Yeah.
So interesting. They're probably going to have to do some minor surgery. And it's not going to be pleasant because there's no anesthesia.
Yeah. How does I know? I don't think I really have any. Is it like how do I feel about surgery now? I don't think anything.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you just know it's rare and it's dangerous. My
So is this creature I came across.
exactly.
That's fun. Yeah.
It occurs to you, you probably need to tell them that it was undead.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was almost going to say maybe get a priest, but I guess I should just mention. I've already told them it's a beast. I would tell them also.
They visibly recoil. They give you stuff for pain. They immobilize the arm, and they're going to have to consult otherwise. You drift in out of sleep. And you wake to some discussions over you. There are now guards at the foot of your bed. You remember being fed soup. Your exhaustion is back to full. You remember a brief conversation with Aldrich. And it is the next day.
All right.
So,
17.
You wake. There is no sign of infection in the wound, no sign of fever or corruption in the wound. Human woman is examining your injury and says, the prayers have worked. We fought off the corruption of its touch. Surgery and some herbs. And in a week, you'll be as good as new. You're apparently very important to receive such attentions. You're clearly blessed.
Thank Oxyr.
That's right.
Holy smokes.
She bears the symbols of Lewin, the goddess of this region for hearth, home, and children. She says, do you feel strong enough for a visitor?
Depends who the visitor is. I ask, who is it? If it's Tegriff's, tell him I don't want it. Well, he's gone.
It is possibly the oldest dwarf oldest goblin I've ever seen.
Oh, okay. I say, please let him in.
He totters in. Roll for me.
49.
He's very pleased with himself. He sits gingerly on his bed. He looks over at you a moment. And he leans in and he says, I know you've taken a little spill, but we've got work to do.
Gosh. So yeah, Plesh here means that I imagine say then things were successful on your end.
2 of the beasties, we caught them in 5 days.
Wow.
They're at the edge of town. Falramar as well. We have one other handler to help us with the beasts. But we figured you'd want to be there. We can get there ourselves, of course. But if this works, I thought you would want to be there for the moment.
I very much would, and I appreciate you waiting for me. And I apologize for causing any delay.
I've only been back 2 hours.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very timely.
I sought to reach your mind, but apparently you were deeply sedated.
Mm. That's interesting. That's something I didn't know. Being sedated, you can't read.
Yeah, it's something that's the other thing I wanted about magic is there have to be limits to everything.
Yeah.
And the practitioners can't know all the limits.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Thanks for not reading my mind. Or not thanks because he tried to, but that's like my privacy. Anyway.
Well, I think this is a great place to stop.
Yeah, I think so too. Before we, I guess, just real quick, if I feel like I can sit up and stuff. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, you sort of very gingerly, he tries to help you, but you're like, man, he is so weak.
Mm-hmm. Might have to tell him, might be another couple days, but maybe once I'm strong enough to stand at least, right? I guess I could attend.
We can't wait too long. We risk our position being discovered and our plan.
Sure.
And he looks down beside your bed and he says, and you've clearly been visited by Crowlum.
What's down there?
Rat pellets.
I see.
So he pats your leg. He says he's staying in the castle. Send word. Whenever you want, he'll visit you later in the day.
Okay. Obi-Wan asks about the plan. Plesh and Faramar, the 2 wizards, were capturing 2 of these beasts with these. I can't remember how you described them.
They're lizards with crystal beaks.
Right.
They're larger than an alligator. They're larger than a horse.
Mm-hmm.
And we know from Plesh's encounter with them when he was young that they can even bite through mithril with those beaks, whatever they are. And they are hoping these 2 beasts that they've captured, they can control, then teleport everyone to the prison where Crowlum is held, then using magic, control the beast, have them basically cut Crowlum's chains.
Mm.
And so, um,
Will it work? We don't know, but it's worth a try. And we know we can teleport to Kralum's um, prison because I have a memory of it imprinted from a vision, and me teleporting. Well, also, I'm allowed to teleport and not set off Verilag's defenses.
right.
I have a part of her in my soul. And then Plesh copied my mind, so he has a. This is
Right.
starting to sound like an action movie.
It is. It's like a heist.
How convoluted it is.
It is. It's
It
a
all
heist.
makes sense.
So yeah. So obviously, Kralum is the demon, which the sorceress Verilag has captured and siphoned its powers continually from augmenting her own. And Verilag's growing in strength and seeks to rebuild an empire. Freeing Kralum will power. Kralum will himself be thrown back into his realm. So no worries about that giant demon roaming Karandrin. Verilag, having lost that power, will then be hurled back into her prison, established some 5,000 years ago underneath a lake in northern the neighboring country, in the northern part of the neighboring country. So, in the meantime, Verilag is free to, gather allies, improve her power, and so on. And we may be very much nearing the end of this saga.
Right.
Not a campaign. It's a saga. That's really what it is. And the threat of Verilag could be over soon.
Was a really funny thought, right? Verilag must have a lot of, right hands or, underlings like leading her whatever's going on, right? And so like she just suddenly disappears, right? Who takes control of all those resources? And
right.
They're probably pretty evil people too,
Right.
She's enlisted, so and still not a great time, but the best option.
Yeah, I mean, certainly the most powerful player in that organization will be dealt with.
Right.
So, gang, thanks for hanging out with us. Another session. Yeah, it's always a hoot. Episode 70 is now in the books. We'll be back at some point. Oh, Lord of the Dragon. Watch out for the dragon. Episode 71, you can find when we're doing that on the website. I have forgotten. I guess we're skipping a week for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Couldn't find a good day next week. So
yeah.
Enjoy. Tell all your families about Karandrin,
That's right, at the table.
I'd rather be watching Karandrin.
That's right, than doing anything else. So December 1st is our next one, then December 8th. You'll find that on the website. And in the meantime, we'll be seeing what other dates we can squeeze into December. I'm hoping for at least one more, two more, maybe pushing it. But we'll keep you posted about all that. As always, guys, thanks for everything. Thanks for the comments in the chat. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can hop to Donor Box there to keep us streaming, as you see. If you want to see more of Max, not necessarily wearing such a cool hat, then check him out on his own YouTube channel there, where he discusses the role of video game music and arrangements and original soundtracks. Thanks as always to Elliot Dunovitz for their terrific character art for Brise that we use throughout. If you want to see more of their work, check it out at artstation.com/Tortalua. And I've written a novel that I'm really happy with, and I hope you enjoy it too. And you can find that in the links down below. As it's on Amazon. And, we really appreciate it. We've had another good year. We should hit 100 episodes around this time next year. And that'll be really exciting. And we'll see what our resources allow us to do special for that. Certainly hats. Certainly.
We'll see if Brise survives that long. Oh my
this
God.
is true. That's true. 100 episodes, that's pretty good. So, Max, say goodbye to these lovely people.
Hope you thought it was exciting and thrilling as I did. And yeah, we'll see you in a few weeks. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We will see you December 1st. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.